This was the moment everything broke. A 3-star chef on her knees in a high school kitchen.
You don't understand this flavor. I need to know how you did it. Please, let me be your apprentice.
Is she serious? She's a world-class chef. Why is she bowing to me?
But Shota Mizuno was known as Lord Carbon, the boy who burned rice, oversalted soup, and once set off the kitchen alarm 3 days in a row.
Look, it's Lord Carbon. Go back to the fire extinguisher.
Then, the home ec teacher announced a special assignment. 7 random ingredients, no recipes, 1 dish.
I'll probably poison someone, or start another fire. Honestly, this is pointless.
But when the teacher lifted his spoon, his entire body went rigid. Without a single word, he pulled out his phone and captured the plate from 3 angles.
There is something in this dish that I have never tasted in 10 years of cooking. You must teach me. I beg you, master.
1 week earlier, Shota plunged his hand into the draw bag and pulled out 7 slips.
Soy sauce, mirin, ginger, honey, rice vinegar, chestnut paste, and salmon flakes. Is this a prank? This combination is insane. Might as well just throw them in.
He dumped the ingredients into a pan without measuring, and to his shock, nothing caught fire. Mr. Yamamoto lifted a spoonful. The instant it hit his tongue, his expression shuddered.
That's it. He's going to fail me in front of everyone.
Instead, the teacher yanked out his phone and click, click, click photographed the plate like a crime scene.
Why is he taking pictures? Is he collecting evidence for my expulsion?
Then Mr. Yamamoto scraped the leftovers into a sealed container, marked it, and left without a word. By the end of the day, that container was wrapped in a cold pack and mailed with a single note, "You must taste this." The package arrived at restaurant Kuroda the next morning. The staff gathered as Misaki unwrapped the cold container.
A sample from my old teacher? Why would he send me this?
She pried off the lid. A rich, dark sauce smell filled the immaculate kitchen, and something else, a hint of sweetness, she couldn't name.
This scent, it's like a forgotten lullaby. My chest is tight.
She lifted the spoon. The first taste hit her like a wave, complex, umami, a whisper of ginger and something hauntingly nostalgic.
I know this flavor, but I've never eaten it before. Why does it hurt? Cancel tonight's service, all reservations. I am going to see who cooked this.
Her head chef stared, then nodded without a word. In 10 years, she had never once missed a service. By noon, a black sedan rolled through the school gates. The students in the courtyard turned, whispering.
What kind of genius creates a dish that tastes like a forgotten song?
The door slammed open. Misaki Kuroda stood in the frame, breathing hard, eyes darting to the stove.
Chef Kuroda, I just finished remaking it. Please, taste it.
The scent alone, chestnut and ginger, but somehow warmer than before.
She lifted the spoon. The class stopped breathing. Even Takashi lowered his phone.
This isn't just a dish. It's a memory I was never given. I need to know how you did this.
Slowly, she untied her chef's apron. The fabric slid to the floor like a surrendered flag.
I am nothing. Teach me. Let me be your apprentice. I will leave everything. My restaurant, my name, if you'll just show me.
She's lost her mind. I can't even boil water without a fire extinguisher. No.
The room detonated into screams. Phones up, mouths open. Mr. Yamamoto's camera whirred, capturing everything. The next morning, every student's phone played the same clip. Misaki Kuroda kneeling before Lord Carbon.
I will understand that flavor, even if I have to tear apart this classroom to do it.
She arrived before first bell in a modified chef's smock, clutching a notebook thick as a Bible.
You've got to be kidding me. She's actually sitting here.
Don't mind me. I'm just here to observe your technique. Please carry on.
She's writing down how I hold a knife. I am going to lose my mind.
Bro, she's like a human microwave. Wait, that glare just shaved 10 years off my life.
The principal argued for an hour, but relented. Alumni fame outweighed school policy.
He burnt the omelet again, but I saw his fingers pause. He does something with the ginger that's deliberate, yet he doesn't know why.
By lunch, Lord Carbon was trending. Anonymous sponsors started calling the school. The vice principal looked ill 3 days later. A broadcast van marked JNN television blocked the school gate. Cameras already rolling.
They sent a news crew. For me, this has to be a prank.
A woman with a mic cornered him at his station. The whole class leaned in.
I don't know what she tasted. Maybe the dish was a mistake. I can't do it again.
He's being modest. The instinct is there. Watch.
She stood behind him, radiating certainty. That certainty felt like 1,000 pounds. The pan heated. The oil shimmered. Then, a greasy black column climbed toward the ceiling, clip looped by evening. Lord Carbon's Inferno. Number, Burnt Offerings number Fluke of the Year. The comments were brutal.
That's it. I am a fraud. And now the whole country knows.
Burn it 100 times. I am not leaving until you remember why you added the honey first.
These molecular bonds, they've never been documented, not in any cuisine. It activates a neural pathway we didn't know existed. This is a 7th flavor receptor, engineered by accident.
The report leaked. Within hours, 3 corporate giants rushed offers to Shota Mizuno's school mailbox.
Shota-kun, we're prepared to invest 50 million yen in your genius. Just sign here.
Genius. I can't even make it again. This paper is worthless.
If I could isolate this compound, it would revolutionize food science. I need access to that boy.
Forget the dish. Your face alone is a brand. We'll make you the youngest television chef in history.
They want the miracle, not me. But I don't even know how the miracle happened.
Each contract had a deadline, a ticking clock that Shota couldn't outrun.
I can't sign, but if I don't, this entire circus will collapse on me.
The pen shook in his hand. Then, with a reckless stroke, Shota signed the Taste Front preliminary agreement.
Welcome aboard, Shota-kun. You are about to become very famous.
50 million yen. They think I am worth that. Maybe I am.
Back at school, Shota walked with a new stride. He demanded a private prep station and an assistant.
You don't understand what you've made. This isn't about money. Stop before you ruin it.
Ruin what? I am the one who made it. You are just a spectator now.
He's become exactly what I feared. The thing I tasted. He'll never find it like this.
Misaki stopped bringing her notebook. She sat at the back, watching Shota charm the cameras, and said nothing.
Let her sulk. I don't need her approval. The world believes in me now.
If he loses the instinct, there's nothing left to save.
Taste Front's deadline was merciless. Produce a stable batch of the compound within 72 hours.
17 attempts. 17 failures. The 7th flavor receptor. What a joke.
Mizuno-kun, the board is questioning your ability. Deliver the compound or we terminate the contract.
I need more time. The compound isn't stable. I can't force it.
Shota, let me assist. Cook it with me. Right now. Together we might unlock whatever you are missing.
You want to sabotage me so you can be the hero who saved the dish. Get out of my kitchen.
I am trying to help you find the truth. Not fame. Truth. That flavor is a key, not a product.
She walked out. Shota locked the door from the inside and stared at the burnt pan.
Why can't I remember? The honey, the ginger. It's like a word on the tip of my tongue.
From the hallway, Misaki heard a pan smash against tile. She pressed her forehead to the door and whispered, I know it's in you. It was past midnight. Shota hadn't eaten, hadn't slept. His eyes were raw, but his hands wouldn't stop moving.
Why did I add the chestnut paste first? It was the honey. She used to say honey melts bitterness.
He poured honey into the cold pan. The scent rose, and something jagged sliced through his chest. The kitchen warped. Linoleum became tatami. Fluorescent bulbs dimmed to a single candle. A woman's back. Long dark hair.
Mom.
The pan clattered. He stumbled back, crashing into a shelf. Bowls rained down. The door burst open. Misaki caught him before he hit the tiles. His weight knocked her to one knee.
I saw my mom in the kitchen. She was right here.
His voice splintered. Tears tracked through the flour dust on his cheeks. He gripped Misaki's sleeve like a child.
So that's it. The missing piece was never a compound. It was her.
For 3 days, Shota avoided the kitchen. Whenever he shut his eyes, a woman's back flickered, but the scene dissolved before morning.
It's like a broken film. I can't catch her voice, only the honey smell.
He tore through his closet and found a box his uncle had packed. Under old report cards, a photograph, a young woman in an apron, whisk in hand. His mother, alive and smiling.
She was a professional cook. Why did no one ever tell me, and why can't I remember anything else about her?
You've been gone from the kitchen 3 days. You are fleeing that vision.
I am not fleeing. I just can't cook it without the whole memory.
The whole memory may not come in time. Tastefront is drafting a termination.
That afternoon, the Tastefront executive called personally. His tone had lost all silk.
1 week to unlock a ghost. If I fail, they'll take everything.
Misaki arrived at Shota's door that evening without warning. Her chef's bag held only a worn notebook.
I need to see that photograph you found. The one with the woman in the apron.
Why? What does my mom have to do with any of this?
He handed her the photograph. The moment her fingers touched the glossy edge, her entire body went rigid.
Akiko. Mizuno? This is your mother?
You knew her?
She was my first mentor. The reason I became a chef. But she never mentioned a son.
Shota stared at the box where he'd found the picture. A secret life. A hidden son. Every piece of his childhood seemed rewritten.
That dish, the one you made, it's her flavor signature. She told me once she wanted to create a taste that said goodbye with love.
Goodbye with love. Then the flash wasn't invention, it was a message.
They emptied the box onto the floor, old recipes, a bent whisk, and a notebook with a torn cover.
This is hers. But half the pages are missing.
She fills the jagged edges with her fingers. Akiko guarded her recipes, but there was one she called her farewell meal. She said it contained a secret only someone she loved could decode.
Shota flipped the brittle pages. The last entry stopped mid-sentence. And then, add the chestnut paste to remember laughter.
Chestnut paste. That's the missing ingredient I never understood. But the next step is torn away.
His phone buzzed. The Tastefront logo pulsed on the screen. Misaki glanced at it. New message from Tastefront. Final deadline, 48 hours. No compound, permanent termination.
This is your fault. You brought this circus to my door. Get out.
She said nothing. She set the notebook gently on the floor, stood, and walked out into the rain. The door clicked shut. He walked through the rain to the old Mizuno house, its key still on his ring. The storage room smelled of cedar and silence. Under a stack of winter blankets, a box marked Akiko. Inside, a single VHS tape with a child's handwriting, Shota's 5th birthday. He threaded the tape into a dusty VCR. The screen crackled, then bloomed with color. A young woman in an apron, laughing, guiding a small boy's hands as he stirred a bowl of batter.
That was his kitchen. That was his mother. Alive and bright.
The tape jumped. The kitchen dissolved into a hospital room. His mother, pale, propped against pillows, an IV in her arm. Her lips moved. The audio was a whisper beneath static. He jammed the volume and crawled closer to the screen. She smiled, that same smile, and said something. The words flickered at the edge of hearing, just out of reach. The screen went to snow. He sat in the blue glow, the remote dangling from one hand, his throat closed.
I'll remember, Mom. I swear I will.
He found her in the home-ec kitchen, staring at the cold stove, notebook open to a blank page.
I am sorry. I found a tape. She was there.
She turned. They didn't speak. She only nodded toward the ingredient cabinet. They gathered the same 7 ingredients: soy sauce, mirin, ginger, honey, rice vinegar, chestnut paste, salmon flakes.
This time, my hands remember something my mind doesn't.
He added the honey first. Misaki's hand steadied the pan. The chestnut paste dissolved. A fragrance rose, sweet, deep, layered with ginger and an ache.
It's exactly the same, but warmer. Like a voice just out of reach.
I can almost hear her. The words are there, just under the surface.
They stood side by side, steam curling between them. The dish was complete. The memory pulsed beneath his ribs.
I remember now. The hospital room. The IV dripping. She couldn't lift her hands.
He pressed his palm against his own chest, as if to keep the voice inside from escaping too fast.
Honey first, then ginger. The chestnut paste last. It's the laughter, Shota. Never forget the laughter. She made me repeat it 3 times.
And you kept it buried so deep, because it was her goodbye.
The dish between them had stopped steaming. The 1,000,000 yen offers felt like paper ghosts.
I won't sell her. This isn't a product. It's her last message to me. I am done with Tastefront.
Then I'll stay. Not as apprentice, as your partner. To protect that memory.
Partner. That word is heavier than any contract. And lighter. I'll call them tomorrow. Tonight, I just want to eat this. With you.
They lifted their spoons together, and for the first time, the kitchen smelled like home.
Mr. Tanaka, it's Mizuno. I am terminating the Tastefront agreement, effective immediately.
You ungrateful brat. I will drag you through every court. You are finished.
I am not selling my mother's farewell. Do what you need to do.
The story ignited. Headlines screamed. Teen chef rejects 50,000,000 yen for a dead woman's recipe. Social media fractured. When Shota walked into home ec, Misaki was already at his station. Every student turned.
I have to tell you the truth. That dish wasn't something I invented. It was my mother's last gift, a recipe she whispered from her hospital bed.
Mr. Yamamoto removed his glasses. A decade of teaching, and he had never heard a student confess something so heavy.
I called you Lord Carbon. I didn't know. I am sorry, Mizuno.
The silence stretched. Even the fluorescent lights seemed to dim. The recipe was no longer a mystery. It was a monument. The school gymnasium was packed with cameras. A single table held a covered dish and a framed photograph.
I am not here to defend myself. I am here to tell you the truth behind that dish. It wasn't a genius invention. It was my mother's final message, whispered to me when I was 8.
And I was her student. Chef Akiko Mizuno taught me everything. The moment I tasted that dish, I knew.
He lifted the framed photograph. A woman with a gentle smile, whisk in hand, looking directly into the lens. Seasoned reporters, veterans of war and scandal, suddenly found themselves brushing their eyes.
This dish brought together 2 strangers who shared the same love. It is not a product. It is her legacy.
This flavor does not belong to me. I am just the messenger. It's hers, and I will never sell it.
A long pause. Then, applause thundered through the gym. Flashbulbs painted the ceiling. On the table, the covered dish had been unveiled. Steam curled around the photograph. The scent of goodbye, now a welcome home. 2 weeks later, the home ec room hummed with something new. A quiet, persistent joy.
Mizuno, show me that ginger honey trick again. I almost didn't burn my rice today.
Start with the honey. It calms the ginger. And don't be afraid to mess up.
A small brass plaque had been mounted beside the stove. In memory of Akiko Mizuno, a cook who taught with love.
You've built a little army of cooks, Master. Akiko would be thrilled.
Stop calling me that. You are the one with 3 Michelin stars.
Stars don't make a master. Instinct does. And you've learned to share it.
At his station, Shota watched a first-year girl nervously crack an egg. She laughed when a shell fell in.
She used to teach me with that same laughter. Now I'm getting it.
The kitchen was no longer a battlefield. It had become a classroom, alive with the quiet buzz of growing cooks. A year later, under contest lights, Shota and Misaki stood before a silent crowd.
I added yuzu. Mom never used citrus, but she'd want me to make it my own.
That's the real apprenticeship. You've made her love your own. She'd be proud.
The judges lifted their spoons. One older chef closed his eyes, and a single tear traced his cheek. First place, Mizuno Shota and Kuroda Misaki. The hall erupted.
This trophy belongs to Akiko Mizuno, who whispered a recipe to her son and told him never to forget.
And to the apprentice who finally learned from the master.
The crowd laughed, then cheered louder. Shota rubbed his neck, a grin cracking his face.
You hear that, Mom? I think they liked it.
On the stage, the dish rested beside the trophy. Steam curled, carrying the memory forward. Years later, Shota walked across a university stage, his food science diploma catching the light. Soon after, a thin cookbook appeared. Recipes of Love. Proceeds of Love. Proceeds established a scholarship in Akiko's name at Restaurant Kuroda. Misaki hung a photograph of Akiko on the ingredient wall, beneath the spice racks. On the first warm day of spring, Shota knelt at her grave. A ceramic bowl steamed between his hands.
I added yuzu again, Mom. It felt right, like adding laughter where you'd have hugged me.
He stayed there a long time, listening to the breeze sift through the cherry petals. The bowl cooled. But the fragrance, ginger, honey, slight citrus, rested in the air like a silent promise. In that same home ec kitchen, another student cracked an egg and laughed when the yolk slipped. A plaque still glinted on the wall, and in a 3-star kitchen, Chef Kuroda trained a new apprentice, her voice soft with remembered warmth. Love, Shota had learned, was a recipe, and he would keep cooking it. In a modest kitchen, the evening light caught the edge of a familiar bowl. He had made this 1,000 times, yet tonight it felt heavier. Older hands reached for the honey, always first, then the chestnut paste and a slip of yuzu. No measuring spoons, the motions were prayerful. Now, each stir a quiet hello to someone beyond the ceiling. He glanced up at the photograph on the wall. The smile there had not aged a single day in 30 years.
I guess I am still your apprentice, Mom.
He lifted the spoon. The first taste spread through him, ginger, warmth, a golden laughter he could almost hear. He closed his eyes. A single tear cut a clean path down the smile lines. The steam curled upward, wrapping the frame of the woman who had first taught him that cooking was just love made visible. When he opened his eyes, the kitchen was empty, save for the bowl, still steaming, still waiting, and love kept cooking.